Hi guys, welcome to Didi's Crafty Corner. Tonight I am super excited to be showing you a tutorial on how I make a see-through cupcake box, or how I make a window cupcake box. So I cannot take credit for this box 100% because, you know, I've watched a ton of tutorials over the years on how to make cupcake boxes. So this is just the formula that has worked best for me. I've tweaked it along the way, and I love to make cupcakes for holidays and give them as gifts, and this is the box that I like to use. So I start by using a scalloped, my top has a scalloped edge which you can see through, and then I use a cupcake wrapper, and I also use a scalloped bottom piece that this fits into, which holds my cupcake in place. And then of course my lid goes back on and is kind of held in place by this little tag that I put on the front of it, which is just glued down on one side. So here's what it looks like. It is 3 inches by 3 inches, so I needed something that was 3 inches long to hold the a standard cupcake plus the frosting, and I wanted to be able to see what was inside of it. So I just used some acetate on the top of it, and that's how it looks. So stay tuned, and I'm going to show you what you need, and we're going to put one together. Hi guys, I thought we would do a really quick show of how to score something. So there are a couple ways. You can use a ruler and a score tool, something like this, or you can use a score, like a Martha Stewart score tool, or you could use your trimmer if you have one. But if you don't have those things and you just have a ruler, I wanted to just show you how you could do this. If you've got a mat that has these little squares on it, each 2 of them equals 1 inch. Okay, so like for instance on this paper we're going to score at 3 and at 6. So if I was going to score it, which I'm going to do it on the other one, I'm just going to show you. If I was going to score it at 3, I would go 1, 2, 3, and I would score it on this line. So all I would do is take my ruler, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I would just line it up on this line and on this line down at the bottom, here and here. I thought I got lost here. Just like that. And then I could run my tool right across the edge, and I could score it this way, right? And then I would turn it around and do it again. So if you don't have my brain, it's not what it used to be. If you don't have one of these, right, and if you don't have a trimmer where you can just use the little metal edge, which I'm going to show you that as well, on your trimmer, you can just lift your blade, even if it doesn't have a score part, and put your piece of paper in, right? And just go right down the edge. So put it to, like if this was going to be 3 inches, you would just put it here and score straight down. Can you guys see that? And then you would just score on this little notch that your blade goes in, okay? So you can do it with a ruler, or you can do it with your trimmer if you have a trimmer, or if you happen to have one of these, you know, of course use this. This is the Martha Stewart score tool. I'm not even sure if that's what it's called. My brain. So I'm going to go ahead and, just hoping the lighting is good enough for you guys to see this today, I'm just going to show you how to score this real quick, and then we'll get on with the rest of the tutorial. So this one is going to be scored at 3 and at 6. So we're just going to go to the 3. And 6. We're going to turn this one over just one time. That's all that's going to be needed. 3 and 6. And then this one's got a fancy little cut in it that is at 2.5 inches. So you're going to go here to the 2.5, and you're just going to go down to that first little box right there. And it's also at 6.5, and you're going to do the same thing right there. And then you're going to follow it through down here as well, okay? That's how you score this one. And I'm going to show you on another piece of paper drawn out so you can actually see it. All right. So easy breezy to score. Can you see the score lines? Easy breezy. Okay, and on the little one, the 4x4 that you're going to see in a minute, that gets scored at a 1/2 inch. So again, you could use one of these blocks on your mat, or you could use a ruler and put a little tick mark and use your ruler and just, you know, put it on something flat and use your score tool, whatever you're using, and you'll be able to get a really nice score that way as well. I'm going to use the board because we have it. This one's going to be scored at a 1/2 inch on all sides, so we're going to go ahead and score this. Oop. Oop. When they're that close to the edge, I always run off the track for some reason. Okay, so now you can see that's nice and scored. All right, and then the bigger one, the one that's 5 1/16, which is this one, we're going to be scoring that at 1 inch. So we're going to go over here to the inch, and we're going to do the same thing. So again, this is on all 4 sides. And that's how that's going to look. All right, and then we're going to assemble it in the next step. All right, so just remember, if you don't have one of these score tools that has the little lines on it, a big one or a little one, you can always use your trimmer if you have a trimmer. If you don't have a trimmer, then you can use a ruler and do the same thing. You can use your ruler with a grid or grid paper. You can use your ruler and just, you know, use a little tick mark on your paper. You know, go the 3 inches. And make a little mark, go the 6 inches, make a little mark, and then take your little mark, hold your ruler in the spot that you need it, and then just go ahead and score your paper. So there's all kinds of ways to score your paper to make this box, all right? Okay, now let's get busy with the rest of the box. All right, guys, you ready? So now let me show you what you're going to need to make this cupcake box. You're going to need something to score with because you're going to have to score it to be able to put it together. So that's the first thing. You're going to need a cupcake wrapper to go inside the little cupcake box. I'm using the Fawn Stitch Scalloped, which is one of my favorite cupcake wrappers. I love to be able to use this whenever I want to make a few cupcakes and not have to go out and buy wrappers, so I'm in love with these. And this is what it looks like cut out. And to put that together, all you're going to do is just pop it in. Whoa. I guess I'm going to have to put my glasses on. And it looks just like that. Super, super stinking cute. It's this is one of my favorites. I like the grassy one as well for Easter, so we're going to be using that. You're going to need a piece of 3x3 acetate, which is going to go on the top of your lid to be able to see your pretty cupcake inside the box. So I've already cut that out. You're going to need the bottom piece for your box down here that's going to hold the cupcake, and that's going to be 4x4. We're going to score it at a 1/2 inch, which I've already done. And then the lid is actually 5 1/16 by 5 1/16, and we're going to score it at 1 inch, which I've already done. I did it already to save time. And then our base is going to be 9 by 9, so 9 inches by 9 inches. And that gives us a perfect 3 inch by 3 inch box. So that's what we're looking for. We're going to be scoring it at 3 6 inches all the way, all the way around. You know how to do that. You just turn it around. So it's going to be scored at 3 and at 6. Then you're going to turn it around, score it at 3 and 6 again. And then we're also going to put a fancy little score in here that's going to give us some cut marks. That's going to give us a flap for our box. So let me show you how you're going to do that because I've drawn it out for you. So this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to go in and you're going to do your normal scoring. You're going to go 3, you're going to go 6, you're going to turn it around, do 3 and 6, and then you're going to put a couple of extra score mark. So you're going to go at the 2.5 inch mark, and I'll have all this listed below. So you're going to go at the 2.5 inch mark, and you're going to score it just to your first box, which is at 3 inches. 6.5, you're going to go to 3 inches, and you're going to do the same thing on the bottom. 2.5 all the way down, and 6.5 all the way down. So we're actually going to be cutting this box out completely and then cutting right here, which is going to give us a flap for our box. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that on this one, and then we're going to put the other one together. All right, so let's just go ahead and get it all scored, you know, or it's already scored. Let's just go ahead and get it all you know, smooshed down. What's the word? I don't know what the word is, guys, to be honest. So I had wanted to put this up earlier today when there was lights, but you guys know those grandbabies would have no part of that today. All right, so I think that's pretty good. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut out our boxes. All right, so on this one we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut it, and we're going to go ahead and cut it all the way down so that this is cut to the beginning of our second square, and then we're just going to go ahead and cut off this box just like that. So now this is our flap that we're going to use to put the box together. Understand? So we're going to go ahead and do this one the same way. We're just going to go ahead and cut it all the way down, and then we're going to cut this one off right here. And then they're going to do this one the same way. Now, I've made a lot of cupcake boxes, guys, over the course of the years, and this is my favorite one. So I can't really give anybody credit for this per se, because I've watched a bajillion, literally thousands of cupcake box tutorials and or Pinterest and or the web designs on, you know, the designs you can print out and cut out and all that. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. All right, so then all you're going to do from there is just assemble it, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how easy that is right now. So we're going to first, I would normally use score tape, but just for the sake of being quick tonight, we're not going to. So now all you have to do is just fold these down. See how easy that is? Yep. Just like that, guys. Easy breezy. Okay, so that's how easy it is, and that's what you use those extra little scores for. Now let's go ahead and get this one put together so you guys can see it. I just wanted to show you that so you could see, because without the black marker you really can't see. It's hard to see, you know. All right, let's go ahead and get all this pressed down really good. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing, only without our, actually it's much easier to do with the mark, huh guys? I'm just saying. Okay. Much easier to do with the black mark. But what I can do is put my glasses on. That will help tremendously. I'm using my fussy cutting scissors here. I'm not real sure why. Okay. Okay. And then for this one, oh, I forgot to cut that one, didn't I? Yep. All right, I'm going to go ahead and score these down real quick. With my bone folder, we're going to make sure they're nice and flat, and that one needs to be cut a little bit more. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use that same tape. Like I said, I would recommend you use score tape personally, but for the sake of making this video not be extremely long, and you guys know with my vision, peeling that score tape off, peeling the little label off that score tape. All right, let's get this one put together. Now, I can tell you, out of all the boxes I've made, I've never had one that's perfectly even on the top, ever. So you see, if that really bothers you, that little bitty corner, that little bit that hangs up right there, just cut it off. You know? All right, so there's our box. I'm going to go burnish it down a little bit just to make sure it stays in place. I would do that with the score tape or with this tape, and there's our little box. All right, so now let's make the little piece that's going to go inside of our box. So I've already scored that one. Oh, let me tell you about this. So what I've done is on the inside of both of these, I've gone ahead and I've cut out my circles. So for this one, I wanted a scallop circle. So this is a 2.5 inch scallop. I've cut it out of the middle because I want my cupcake to be able to sit down in that scallop and hold itself up. Okay, you can see how great that works, right? So it's perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to really give these a good press. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut. Just so that we can get it put together. We're just going to do a little cut. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and put that together again, same way, just a little bit. It can be trickier though, but we'll give it a shot. As if you were having some of the other little tape would be, you know, the smaller little tape beads. You can also use glue. I just thought this would be quicker. All right, so again, we're going to fold this down. We're going to make our ends match up. Just like that. I'm sorry guys, I think I was just off frame for that. This one didn't get cut far enough down either. Okay, and so now we've got our little square. And now this you're going to have to push down into the box. It'd probably help if I didn't have that extra glue on the corner. Extra glue is going to get stuck right there. All right, so you're just going to shove it down in the box. You're going to push it down just like that. Okay, see? And then your little cupcake holder is going to fit down in that square. Right, cupcake holder came apart with your cupcake in it, and it's not going to touch the bottom, but see how pretty that's going to be? All right, so that's perfect, right? All right, now we're going to do our top, which the top is 5, again, like I said, I've cut this out already, 5 1/16 by 5 1/16. It's scored at 1 inch, so I've already done the scoring. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go ahead and give that a good little press down. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to cut along the edges. This time I'll make sure and go Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my acetate down, if I can find it. Oh boy. That's the thing about acetate, guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit in the corners here, just to hold my acetate down, and so that it won't be seen. Again, in real life, I would do this with score tape. And then I'm just going to put that acetate right inside the square, just like that. You see that? Nice, huh? And then we're going to go ahead, and I already have dust on it. Of course, I'm getting tape all over my scoreboard that I'm now going to have to clean off. But originally I was going to show scoring it, but I thought, you know, that's just going to take a lot of time. You guys know how to score something. I'd rather show you in the black marker to help you understand that fancy cut. Okay, and there's our lid. Pretty, huh? Super nice. And then the lid is going to fit right on the top of the box, just like so. Super pretty. Okay, and then we're going to take our little scallop pieces. So we're going to take this and this. I'm actually going to pop this up. So I'm going to take a little piece of tape. We're going to pop it up on this one. Remove my hair off the back of it. Just like that. And then I'm going to take the BG11 marker, and I'm just going to color in this little heart ever so lightly, because I did use VersaFine ink, and you know that can be a boogeroo. Perfect. And then for this, I don't want to glue it to this. I only want to glue it down here. So we're going to take it down to about right there, make sure it's nice and even, and we're going to put our tape on this side right here, just on the bottom. And again, I would use score tape for that. And then we're going to center it on the box, just like that. Then you can still pull the top off and on. All right, lost our cupcake holder. And then we're going to add a tiny little bow, a tiny little heart right to the top, just one, right there. And I'm going to put this tiny little bow on the front, and I'm just going to attach just the tiniest little bit of glue here, because you don't need a lot. It's not going anywhere. And I'm going to put that right there. All right, super cute. Now when you get your cupcake in here, this isn't going to be wobbling around like that. It's going to stay down. All right. And then on every single box, guys, you're always going to have something that's not quite square. So all you do, again, you just take your scissors and gingerly cut off whatever's bothering you. And because I am extremely bothered by this, I have to always just do a little trim. Okay, and now that's perfect for me. And then we're going to put our lid back on. And it just slides right underneath there, and that is your pretty little cupcake box, guys. What do you think? Super pretty, right? You can use whatever colors you want. Let's put our other one back together over here. And there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and let me know. Do you want to see more tutorials like this? And I will see you in the next video. Bye.